Yo, how's it going? It's been a little bit. What's going on? Hello. Hey dude, what's up? Today I am answering your guys' questions. So basically, we hit 10K a while back. Now we're at 15K subscribers. And I never really did anything to celebrate. So I thought an Ask Me Anything would be pretty cool. And we put up a thread on the Discord where you guys can ask me any questions you guys wanted to. I'm also going to talk about the FAQ because the FAQ is the most frequently asked questions on the channel. So I was like, hey, it would make the most sense for me to go through those as well. But you guys can also ask, questions in the chat, all this other stuff. But yeah, we'll get into it. So here, let me see if I can pull up Discord for you guys. And I'm going to put it over. I know you guys can't see my screen yet. Give me a second. Let me figure this out. But yeah, how you guys doing? How to hack when the OS is not connected to the internet? I guess physical access, right? Rubber ducky and stuff. All right. Yeah, I'm going to close this. Put this over here. All right. And how's that? Okay. Let me know how that is. And we can mix stuff up as we go. I'm good. What about me? I'm chilling, man. I'm finally on spring leave, so I can actually relax and chill, hang out. Recently, any bounties? I don't do many bug bounties. I've been wanting to get into code review. If you guys know what that is, it looks pretty interesting. Who is yellow in the back? Yeah, that's Winston, the Wi-Fi pineapple. It's not a Wi-Fi pineapple, but his name is Winston. I got him because he reminded me of the Wi-Fi pineapple. So, yeah, I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, so let's first hit the FAQ because the FAQ is like the most commonly asked questions on the channel. So let's go on FAQ, and I'll just start from the top, and we'll make our way through the rest of the stuff. So the first question is, how do I get into malware? Right? This is the most broadly asked question on the channel to date, and I kind of describe it in the FAQ already, but I kind of want to go in more depth from the stuff in the FAQ to give you guys some more context and stuff, right? So with malware, I highly suggest, right, getting into programming first, having a good foundation programming, because malware development is inherently just software development, right? There's just a level of malintent that's there that you're kind of incorporating into your software, all this other stuff. Wow, there's a lot more chats than I was expecting. So I'm gonna have to catch up with the chat a little bit. But yeah, so if you guys read the FAQ, I kind of suggest 3 things, right? Knowing general programming, whether it's I guess depends on the language, but having a good foundation in programming, knowing the operating system you're targeting, and then having a base like understanding of networking. I really want to make a malware, like a networking for malware video. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's like in the works right now. And I think that video will give you guys the context and information you guys need to like understand how to build like a C2 framework and be able to have your C2 talk to your target and back and all this other stuff. So hopefully that's going to be a helpful video. Let me catch up with the chat. How to hack iOS? Ask Peaks. He'll help you out. Peaks, he's on the Discord server. How to start learning assembly. Okay. So, like, generally speaking, you don't really need to, like, learn, like, raw assembly for a lot of malware development. At least when you're first getting into it. I mean, you'll pick it up as you go. I highly suggest checking out some of the videos from Live Overflow. He does a great job explaining, like, if his binary, let me just show you guys. Let's just go. Let's just go. So if we go on YouTube, Live Overflow, binary exploitation. All right. He has a amazing, this playlist right here. This is an amazing playlist for like everything that has to do with binary exploitation and all that other stuff. Like I binged through it. It's pretty good. But one of the key points that he talks about is that like you don't need to learn how to read everything. You just need to know what you're looking for. Like reading the different calls and the jumps and stuff is a lot more important than seeing like what's being moved in between registers from like an initial look. But as you like read through the code flow, it becomes a lot easier. My also like a personal recommendation is just writing C code and then decompiling it, and then just like, disassembling it, and just looking at the C code and the assembly and comparing the two. It makes it a lot easier to see like the how it gets transferred across the languages. Hello from Russia. Hello, Cosmo. You're awesome. Thank you. How to start your career? How to start your career? Apply for a job, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like it depends on what your career is, you know. I would say if you don't have like a college background or something, get some certs under you or something like that. Just experience, work on projects. That's the best thing you can do. Work on projects. If you have a GitHub, make your GitHub, start working on projects as many as you want, as many as you can. It'll help build your resume up. I have a Mac. Can I develop malware? Yeah, just make a virtual machine. Unless you're trying to make like malware for Mac or something. Yeah, just make a virtual machine and you can get started. All right. Let's cut back to the, the frequently asked questions, and we'll cycle back to the chat in a second. All right, so how did I get started in hacking? This was another pretty popular question. And how I got started was, it was pretty much like, I wanted to learn how to program. And when I joined this like Discord server, I think it was like one of my friends' Discord servers, and there was like a bunch of like older people on there, like not older people, but like college people on there and stuff. And yeah, I joined the Discord server. I'm like, yo, how do I program? How do I code? And I asked them, like, I think I saw a video on Rust or something. I don't remember what it was, but I just wanted to learn how to program. But I must have sounded like really skitty. Like when I joined, like I sounded like an absolute noob when I joined that server. So I think they trolled me a little bit, and they're like, yo, you should pick up like Visual Basic script. And I was like, cool. Because I didn't know anything, right? Because I know anything about computers. So I picked up this language, Visual Basic script. For those of you who don't know, this is like an old language from like the 80s, maybe 90s. I don't know. It's an old language though. And yeah, I pick up the language, I learn it, and I start doing research on like what Visual Basic has been used for. And it came across the Houdini worm. If you guys haven't seen the Houdini worm, let me see if I can pop it up for you. Houdini worm, question mark? I did a slash there. Yeah, the Houdini worm. Yeah, so this was a Visual Basic malware. And it was something pretty interesting to me. I was like, yo, malware sounds really cool. And I kind of just fell down this rabbit hole of learning malware. But yeah, that's basically how it started. Yeah. Let me see what other questions you guys have. Or FAQ especially. Your comment was skipped. Don't worry, I'll come back to it. I promise. I promise. I promise. I haven't checked. There's so many, because like you guys see, like we got the FAQ, then there's this channel with the actual Ask Me Anything questions that you guys put in, and then there's the chat. So I'll get to everything. I'm probably not going to get to everything, but I'll get to as much as I can. Okay. Going back to the FAQ, you guys have asked me, what are the questions have you asked me? What languages should I start learning? Yeah. I already made an entire video about languages and stuff. Like, if I go on my YouTube channel, right, and we go on, yeah, this video right here, the best way to malware. This video right here talks about all the languages you should learn, how they work, all this other stuff. It's a great video, so I definitely suggest checking this one out once the stream is over. But if you guys need my like top go-tos, I'm going to say Python. Even though it's not good for malware all the time, it's still a great language, and you can use it for like your C2 servers and stuff like that, and automating hacking processes, encrypting files more quickly, all this other stuff. C for actual malware, like that target deployed malware. C or C++ if you want. And then I'm gonna say NIM. NIM is a pretty cool language. It's very Pythonic in its syntax. So it should be really easy for a lot of new people to learn. And it's just an awesome malware resource. In fact, if you guys go on offensive NIM, do I have offensive NIM? Offensive NIM, bro. There you go, offensive NIM. Yeah, this is a pretty cool repository that has a bunch of NIM resources. In fact, my course on customers.cs.com, education. There you go. Yeah, so this course right here, the Discord API for malware, we use NIM a lot in this course for some pretty cool stuff. So I definitely suggest checking this out as well if you guys are wanting to learn some more malware stuff. But yeah. And then let me catch back up with chat now, so we can. I'm gonna answer questions and then catch back up with chat. That's how we're gonna do it to kind of keep it organized on here. All right, my brother, how are you? When is next bug bounty video? I don't do bug bounties. So the video on this channel from the who did the bug bounties was from Gavin, or Atomic ZSec on Twitter. We put him on the channel so that way he could cover some interesting stuff for us, do some bug bounties on the channel for us. So yeah, I'm still looking to get into like code review type of bug bounties, but I don't do a lot of web hacking. Web hacking is like my least fluent area of hacking. Like, I'm not like bad, but like it's definitely like where I'm least proficient in. So yeah. Can you create your own shellcode? Yes, you can. You can usually do it assembly. You can kind of do it C sometimes. You also have like different shellcode generators. So like, I think Donut. Yeah, the lower Donut. Yeah. This is a pretty good resource if you guys want to look around at like generating shellcode and stuff like that. I'll make a video about that, like generating, like writing shellcode, generating shellcode outside of like Metasploit, because you can generate shellcode with Metasploit. But if you want to like write your own, I can probably compile some resources for that. Any video you suggest for programming C# or C++? No videos. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm sure there's some videos. I think if you're looking for C, Bro Code, he has a lot of good videos on C. Yeah, Bro Code, because like all of his videos on C are like really short. Like here, where's C? Yeah, so you'll see C right here is like half of these videos are like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And if you're ever confused on like a topic, this is definitely like a good resource. I think there's some other good resources on YouTube. Crow, he does some good videos on malware development, but not necessarily like programming. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other like immediate ones that are coming to mind right now. Yeah. True shell code is written ASM, 100%. Exactly. Okay, let's get back to this. Actually, I'll do this one so that way you guys can still see like the chat and stuff. All right. I want to learn proper kernel 32 parsing and getting the address of functions like load library A or similars. It's not really a question, but yeah, just play around with the API. You can check out Maldev Academy too. They have pretty good resources on stuff like that. How to start Android malware development? Use Java, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to use Java for that stuff. Like Android and mobile hacking is an area I'm less familiar in, but I'm pretty certain that Java is like one of the most dominant things. There's also a pretty good resource for analyzing mobile malware, but I can't remember the name of it right now. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. So it'll probably be helpful for you. Yeah. Let's see. You know, I'll find it later. I'm not doing this right now. Cosmos, I found Linux Geek. Do you recommend for running Windows proprietary stuff? Do you recommend running like Windows proprietary stuff? Maybe not hacky enough, but yeah. I'm a little confused on your question. So like as like a Linux guy, do you suggest running like Windows proprietary software and stuff? Yeah, I mean, like, it depends on your. Sorry, my YouTube's tweaking out. Yeah, if you're talking about like running proprietary software and stuff, that's fine. I guess it just depends on like where and how. Here, let me go on like. There you go. Let's go here for now. Actually, we'll go here. All right. Yeah. Because like on my virtual machines and stuff, I have like, you know, Visual Studio. I have all this other stuff. So, I mean, if you need to use the software, you need to use software. I mean, there are open source alternatives for most things. So if you feel like there's an open source alternative that serves your needs better, then go for it. Any resources on how Linux AVs work on Linux and AV evasion? So like, there isn't really much when it comes to Linux like antivirus, but there is going to be stuff like EDR, I'm pretty certain, and things like Tripwire as well. Isn't Tripwire? But then Tripwire Linux. Yeah. I don't know how much this is still used, but yeah, Tripwire, stuff like that. Oh, sorry, let me show you Tripwire. But yeah. How do you make money for living? I don't know, the US Navy, I guess. All right, cool. Let's get back to the frequently asked questions, and then we'll cycle back to the chat. All right, what is my setup? So my setup, honestly, has always been a laptop. I have this laptop right in front of me that I have a video that covers my like Linux or my desk setup. But I have a laptop and that's it. I have like a keyboard and a mouse and like some monitors and stuff. But from the dawn of the channel, it's always been a laptop. So don't feel like you need like the crazy setup to get started or anything like that. You really don't. Yeah, I'll show you the stats because like I ain't gonna lie, like I have upgraded this setup to like its peak. So, or updated this laptop here. So like I'll do a neofetch. Right, so running Linux Mint. So like, you don't even need Kali. Right, I like stable Linux distributions, so that's why I'm using Linux Mint. Terminator is my terminal. I'm using the Conch shell. It's a pretty cool Python powered shell, so you can do like print, you know, stuff in here. It's pretty cool. But yeah, you can run Python in your shell and Bash, so it's like the best of both worlds, and you can make some really cool configurations and stuff because of it. This is the laptop I have, the Xenia XPG. They don't make this version anymore. They pushed out a new one, so if you guys want my same exact laptop, you'll have to find the new one, I think. And outside of that, you know, Intel i7, we got decent GPU, nothing crazy, and then 32 gigs of RAM, and then about a terabyte of storage that I've that I've used more than half of, mostly because of virtual machines and stuff, I think. But yeah, so that's basically the setup. And then i3, of course, so I have like, you know, tiling window manager. So if I have like this open and then open up like my file explorer at the same time, it gets tiled, you know. So yeah, nothing crazy, just you know, fun little system that I put together over time. And then yeah, I think that's it for the frequently asked questions. So we're going to actually get into the Ask Me Anything questions that you guys put up. And I'll also cover chat in a little bit as well. Cool. Can I go back? Oh no, there you go. I didn't mean to do that. Whoopsies. All right, cool. So, bro, know a lot of vulnerabilities and also programming, but I can't seem able to find the bug. Right. I don't know. If you guys have questions on bug bounties, go to the Discord server and ping, what's his name? Atomic CSEC. He'll help you out. He'll help you out. But like, if you're talking about binary exploitation, you're just gonna have to play around in like a debugger for a while and kind of see how you can manipulate that area of memory to your advantage. That's usually how it, unless if it's like not a memory bug, but 99% of the time it's a memory bug. All right, what other questions he has? Make a Linux device video like your desk setup. Oh, like how to make my setup. You guys can just take my configs, right? Like, I mean, you guys can't. I mean, yeah, I can do something like that, but let me see. I don't have my dot file saved, do I? Dot files, pretty boy, Cosmo. That'd be awesome if that popped up. Boom. All right, I don't know why it went to the releases. All right, cool. Wait, these are my dot files, right? So if you guys want, you guys can go on config, and then all my other stuff like i3 and you know, my NeoFetch, all that other stuff. So yeah, go nuts, go crazy. Where's the home button? Isn't there where's the home button? Yeah, let's put that there. Cool. Anyway, can you give me some advice to a beginner in cybersec? Advices to beginners in cybersec? I would say do projects, man. Like, don't feel like this inert pressure to kind of like, you know, you're going to see a bunch of people on like YouTube. You're going to see like people in these Discord communities who are just like super knowledgeable and like that's one thing, and that's awesome. And that's those are like the people you should be able to like reach out for help. But at the same time, build up your ingenuity and kind of be able to discover things on your own, right? Be able to do research. If you're working on a project and you keep hitting this stupid bug, be able to like go back and be like, hey, how did this happen? Read the error message and see what is telling you is wrong. Google the error message, ChatGPT. Like, there's all these resources. So build up your ability to problem solve. But at the same time, there are like communities of people there to help you. So don't feel like if you get lost or anything like that, you need to like stay in this like hole. And then talking about like tutorial hell is the thing I hear a lot about. I luckily enough did not fall too far into that hole, because at the end of the day, you just got to start making projects. Like just start. Like pick a topic, pick a project, and start. And you're like, how do I start? You just start. Like, you just open the file, then you start making your roadmap. Right? This is the things I want to add. This and the third. Let's say we're making a RAT, okay, a remote access tool, right? And we want to have this piece of malware be able to remotely access a computer, log the keystrokes, and give me a remote shell. Let's say those are the three things we want, okay? How do we get remote access to a computer? All right, so you start doing research, you come across reverse shells. Like, oh, okay, this is pretty interesting. So how do we build a reverse shell? Let's see, like you kind of problem solve, right? Break it up into like parts and bits and attack each task at a time, if that makes sense. That would be like one of my biggest pieces of advice. Projects and ingenuity. Do I use Wine or Crossover? No, I don't. So if I need anything Windows related, I will open up a virtual machine. Here, let's go on 8. Yeah. So yeah, I will use a virtual machine. These are some of my virtual machines. Ignore this one. But yeah, for like malware development, this is my Malware 10 machine. I have Flare VM and Remnux for malware analysis. But I have some other stuffs in here just to play around. I've been looking at NixOS recently. I might be moving over to NixOS in the future. It is a pretty interesting operating system. And yeah, if you guys haven't heard about NixOS, it's basically like this operating system that's declarative instead of imperative. So like when you download like Linux Mint, for example, then once you have it, you have like sudo apt install all of these packages that you want to have on your system. You end up making like dot files and scripts to automate parts of it and all this other stuff. But with NixOS, there's kind of like a built-in like config file for the operating system where you can declare the packages you want, and then just kind of rebuild the operating system based on that. And then you have like a config file essentially for your operating system, and you can deploy that anywhere else, and then you can update the config file as you go and all this other stuff. It's really cool. And yeah, it's something I definitely want to play around with, especially because I have so many computers. Even though I only use one of them, I would like to use more of them without having to worry about like moving over all my custom configs and rices and stuff like that, if that makes sense. But yeah. Okay, I don't think we've gotten to any of the actual Ask Me Anything questions that you guys have been putting in here. So I'm gonna get to these now. Let's. I didn't mean to do that. Whoopsies. There you go. Can I like zoom in a little bit? There you go. So let's go through these. So the first question is from Duckling. He says, what software do you use the most? Editing software, programming software, etc. And what's your favorite part about programming? My favorite part about programming, I'll answer the second part first. My favorite part about programming is I love the ability to like solve problems, you know, and being able to like create all these like really cool things. Like when I like first built OnlyRat and like I got it working and like I got that remote console, like I'm sure you can see it in the stream, it's still on YouTube. Like I was like super excited. I was like, dude, that was like my first time building like some sort of tool that allowed me to like remotely access a computer, and I did it. Like I was able to build it myself. It's like a sense of pride and a sense of like excitement that you get from being able to create all these like projects is I don't know, it's something that I enjoy a lot. But yeah, my favorite software and stuff that I like to use the most, I would probably say things like Obsidian, Neo. I should just go on this and I'll kind of just go through them. So Obsidian is definitely one of them. If I go over here, yeah, you guys can see Obsidian, right? This is my Obsidian notebook. I love Obsidian. Being able to take notes with this thing is just awesome. Yeah, I use it all the time. There's a bunch of extensions and stuff that I use for a lot of other things, but Obsidian is definitely one of them. If you guys haven't used Obsidian, it's just a note-taking app. I don't know if there's any notes I can show you. Let me think. Yeah, no, I'm just not going to risk anything. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Definitely check out Obsidian. Not sponsored or anything. This is all just all my own word. Like this is just stuff that I personally recommend. I would also say Obsidian, right? So I'm going to move. Let's go. Sorry, not Obsidian. NeoVim, right? I have my NeoVim set up. It's pretty buffed out right now, right? You know, custom ACS. And I have all these other things here. Like if I go to Marks, and let's go to OnlyRat because you guys are probably the most familiar with that project, right? So I'll edit OnlyRats, right? Yeah, you guys can see NeoVim. It's pretty good stuff. I have like a pretty beefy configuration. Like this is like, it's pretty minimal, but it is also like really well configured. Like I'm very happy with all the things like I've set up in this thing. I got Mason or Harpoon, I got all this stuff. Yeah, Mason. Yeah. But yeah, bunch of other stuff. I can open files, see recently used files. I can edit the configuration file if I want to. Bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I think those are like the most two like the two biggest pieces of software I use the most often. Yeah, Obsidian and then like my NeoVim config. Yeah. All right, let's get back to some of the other questions that you guys have had for me. Cool. What's the vision with Cosmo CS like company? So for those of you who don't know, like Cosmo CS is like a platform, like an organization, and I've really wanted to make it's an offensive development group by standard, but like me and the other developers, I've also gotten like really busy these past couple of months, and I kind of want to reignite that spark. I want to like get the dev team back together, working on projects, working on malware, all this other stuff, and that's the ideal goal. I like to have like us be like an autonomous group that's able to like work on projects, push content out and stuff like that. And yeah, I might have to do some hiring, some recruiting. So if you guys are interested in joining the dev team, let me know. I would love to like reignite the spark in the team. And yeah. But yeah, that's the ideal vision, like a group of just hackers just building cool stuff for like red teamers. Like we want to do like red team tooling and stuff, kind of like Metasploit and like how you see like things like Havoc from Spider. Like we want to have like these like baby projects and suites and tools and payloads for different groups and organizations and stuff. That's the goal. That's the dream. But yeah. Cybersecurity lab. How can I do an entry-level lab for pen testing and malware analysis under $500? Easy. Do it virtually. Do not, by any standards, any means for whatsoever, feel the need to like spend all this money on like VPS stuff and all this other stuff just for a lab. You can do your entire lab virtually. I'll show you guys. So like my lab, right? If I go, I can close this. Yeah. All right, cool. So if I go over here and I'm going to open up my virtual machines, right? So my entire malware lab that I use for everything all the time is this Remnux machine right here and this Flare VM machine right here. And that's it. Oh, I don't know which one I opened. Yeah. So yeah, these two virtual machines right here, it's all I use all the time for malware development and malware analysis. So like we were talking about, you don't really need like a pen testing lab, but when it comes to the malware analysis part of your question, definitely. This is definitely just, in fact, if you guys want to, here, I'll go on YouTube. Where's my channel? Yeah. So yeah, right here, Ultimate Malware Lab, this video, this is how I set up my malware lab. So if you guys want to make a malware lab, this is how I set mine up, and this is a tutorial you guys you can follow, so you can follow along and build your own malware lab. And it's completely free. Like, just to put that out there, if I didn't make that clear, it's completely free. So you don't need to spend money on it outside of like whatever laptop or computer you need to buy to run that on. Now, if you want to upgrade it a little bit, I suggest maybe doing it on a VPS or buying a virtual private server in general. Having the VPS just gives you so much more creative freedom. You have a virtual private server that's there on the internet, so you can run web servers. You can make your own C2 network that's actually out there on the internet. You can make, I don't know, a content delivery network, so you can download files from the internet onto your target machines in your lab or whatever. Yeah, I would say if you're going to spend money, spend it on the virtual private server. Otherwise, don't spend money. Yeah, that's that. All right, let's check out the chat a little bit. Let me see. What's your current job in? Okay, hold on. Oh, I missed some questions. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys. Here, let's go back on this so you guys can see the questions I'm looking at. Is there any good series or movies besides Mr. Robot? Yeah, if you've seen *Halt and Catch Fire*, *Halt and Catch Fire* is really good. If you're talking about like hacking themed stuff, *Halt and Catch Fire*, I'm sure *Silicon Valley* is really good, but I haven't seen it. Who Am I? The movie is pretty good. Hackers, the movie is also pretty good. There's a few other ones that are hacking themed. Otherwise, what's that new movie that came out? The World We Leave Behind, I think it's the movie. Yeah, if you guys are looking for a good hacking movie to watch, The World We Leave Behind, it's on Netflix. It's the same director from Mr. Robot. It's pretty good. I watched it not too long ago, so if you're looking for a good movie to watch, that's a pretty good one. But yeah, those are some of my suggestions for sure. You got any good documentation or guides on recreating something like the Solaris malware? I love how it replaces MBR with its own, and really do something like that. Ooh, that's a great question. I know about Solaris, but I haven't like dove in like, you know, super deep into like the malware reports on and stuff like that. It's on my to-do list. But yeah, my suggestion would be look into more of like the reports that come out, and then kind of start looking into like, honestly, if you wanted to, like pick up some basic reverse engineering skills, pull out a sample into a lab and kind of poke around at it, look at some of the system calls. It may not like be like the most effective way. I guess it is the most effective way, but it would be definitely a good idea for you to kind of poke at it, if that makes sense. You know, you'll probably learn more from that. But nothing I can say directly on it. Do you have any recommendations of where to learn exploit development? Yeah. I would say some good ones are Nightmare. Nightmare is pretty good. Pick up some reverse engineering and binary exploitation stuff. Another good one is I guess Pwn College is pretty good. I haven't used it super much, but they have some good stuff in Pwn College. There's also what am I thinking of? ROP Emporium. ROP Emporium is also pretty good. Pick up some stuff in there, and then things like Pwn College, other stuff like that. Yeah. All right, and this is my last question for the chat before I move back into the AMA. So you guys are asking, can you make or suggest a tutorial for making your Linux Mint like yours? I downloaded it, but after seeing yours, I can't make one like yours. Yeah, basically, it's all in like the half of a rice. It's like the window manager you're using. The other half is like your wallpaper. But yeah, I can put some resources together, but the dot files are definitely something you should poke at, see what software I'm using and stuff like that. All right, cool. Let's get back to the the Discord questions, and we'll go back to the chat. We're just hopping back and forth, man. We're just hopping back and forth. And how are you guys doing? Let me know how you guys are doing. I'm curious. It's finally spring break for me. I don't know how far you guys are from spring break, but I'm on it right now. I'm enjoying every second. So, a little water break actually. A little water break. All right, let's get back into it. All right, what's something underrated that you've learned about in 2023? Ooh, that's a good question. I would say I think one of the most underrated skills that I picked up was touch typing, like home row typing. Like, I know it sounds like pretty weird, but learning home row typing has made literally everything in computing like so much easier. Like using products like Vim, so much easier to use something like Vim when you know how to touch type with like home. If you know what I'm talking about, like home row keys. Like here, let's go on like touch typing. Yeah, this stuff right here. Like, yeah, learning how to use this is one of the most helpful things. And it took it's not a quick feat. Like, it took me like a good 2 months to get proficient at it. But like those 2 months are worth every second. Like being able to like type and not have to look at like my keyboard or like all that stuff. definitely worth it. Now, keep in mind, like, this is just a guide. You don't need to like, you know, follow it strictly, but using it generally is very helpful. Like, I use the space with both hands. I don't know, sometimes I'll hit the 6 with like my left hand. It doesn't really matter, but picking up like this general like procedure is really good. If you want to practice, I know there's things like monkey type and stuff, but at the end of the day, just pick up this picture and just kind of like print it out or something, and then just use it as a reference when you're doing like your homework or typing, you know, that paper you have due at midnight or whatever you have going on. Just picking this up when you can. Definitely one of the most underrated skills that I have, and I'm very grateful for. Don't ask me for my touch typing score. I have no idea. I'm not going to embarrass myself on stream, but yeah. Also should be fun if we can set up a playlist for self-hosting cloud stuff. Yes. So I have like Planet Cause. So I have a home server. It's very bad. Like, I feel like as cool as like my, you know, Linux system is, and like all like the crazy configurations and stuff that I have going on like on my computer, my web server is like lacking severely behind. Like, when you go on like the NeoFetch on my main computer, and then we go on my home server, and then we run NeoFetch here, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it doesn't go well. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't connect well. Like, this looks so lame compared to the rest of my system. So I really want to like spend some time buffing out my home server. Like, this is like there's like 4 terabytes of storage on this home server, and I do like Jack Cousteau with it. So like, I want to set up some cool stuff on here. I just have not made the time. So yeah, there will definitely be like some stream or something like that where we put this thing on, you know, when we beef this thing up. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that's definitely in the works. I don't know when we'll get to it, but hopefully we will get to it. All right, take a quick break. Let's check out the Discord chat or the YouTube chat, see what's going on. Is math essential? No, it's not essential. No. I would say like programming made me better at math. Math did not make me better at programming. I'm gonna say that. If you guys can relate, I appreciate that. Role of programming in cybersecurity. You don't really need to like, if you're like doing web hacking or like bug bounties, you don't need to know how to program like at all. If you're doing like malware development and like Binex stuff, it definitely helps a lot more. So it depends where you're going. Like, if you're doing like Wi-Fi hacking, you don't need to know how to program. But if you're like doing malware development, exploit development, then yeah, you do need to program. So it depends on like what you're doing, you know. An important note too, your Discord course is leaked on Telegram, so take action. Wow, yeah, I figured it would be, but like, what am I gonna do about it, you know? Wait, you know what? It's a $5 course. Bro, what? No way it's leaked on Telegram right now. Oh, that's so funny. Hold up. Y'all couldn't spend $5? That's like 2 cups of coffee, right? Bro, that's like 3 bags of Skittles. That's crazy. No way. That's funny. Oh well. But I mean, like, there's only so much I can do about it, you know? Like, I'm sure things like Malware Dev Academy is probably leaked by now. Most of the TCM courses are probably online, so I'm probably not going to fight it, but it's pretty interesting. Is there any other things in here? I literally lost where I was. I'd love to be a part of your team someday. You guys are definitely my biggest inspiration. Oh, dude, appreciate that. Yeah, send me the DMs and stuff. Some of y'all's what do you call it, like GitHubs and stuff. Also directed by Obama. Image shot. Hey man, recently got my hands on malware. Oh, Malware Dev Academy. Do you think it's a good resource? Of course, yeah. Malware Dev Academy is a great resource. I will say that it is like, especially if you're new, it has like a lot of good resources. I did have to skip through some of it, but there's a lot of awesome material in there. I will say, like, it is definitely, like I said, I think overall the price is justified. But yeah, explore it, poke around with it. I will say it's just like, make sure you have that, like, that course is for people at an intermediate level. It's not for people at like a beginner level. So if you're still really new, I would suggest picking up like basic Windows, like fundamental stuff, and then like C programming. And then once you have like a good proficiency in that, go for it. That's just my tips. Honestly, you can just ignore me and just jump right in and go for it. I'm not going to do anything. So yeah, have fun with it, man. I want to get a sponsor code for it, so I need to hit up Mr. Docs and see how that works. But like getting like a Cosmo 10 for that 10% off for you guys would be ideal. But yeah. Is malware analysis often a part of a role like DFIR, and is it hard to work on malware analysis only? No. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it is well incorporated with DFIR, and is it hard to work on malware analysis only? No. I mean, it depends on like the sample you're analyzing, I guess, but there's mostly like, yeah, there's, the answer is no. Keep it short. No. You go have fun with it. Malware analysis is great. And in fact, I would suggest picking up basic malware analysis skills, especially for malware development, because you get to see what all the cool kids are doing, right? Like when you see like a sample from like some like Russian APT and see like all these like obfuscation techniques and like, you know, pivoting techniques and, you know, all this other stuff, you like get to see it and you're like, dang, this is really cool. I'm gonna steal that. So yeah, that's why I would suggest if you're going to poke around at some other, you know, malware. Plus, reverse engineering gives you a better understanding of like the malware you're looking at and like how the computer works, how it moves the memory, all this other stuff. So it just gives you an extended skill set that you wouldn't have otherwise. But yeah. All right, I'll do one more question. Let me catch up with the bomb to chat real quick. There's some stuff that I've been missing. Pretty good so far. Kind of not in the mood for school tomorrow, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, I feel that. Free maldev resources, literally my YouTube channel, man. Literally my YouTube channel. Bruv. Go on youtube.com/cosmoniumcs. Yeah, man. Playlist. And right here is malware development. There you go. This, dang, 55K. Jesus Christ. I didn't that's crazy. Wow. I didn't realize the view was so high on that. But yeah, this is definitely a good playlist for you guys. This is go to free resource. Other free resources, I don't know if there's any free ones. Reading malware papers and stuff is pretty good. VX Underground is pretty good. Crow has some good YouTube channel stuff. Yeah, that's about all that's coming to my mind immediately. I guess John Hammond has some good videos on it. But yeah, I would say YouTube just overall. You know, what browser am I using? Firefox. I'm using Firefox. Yeah, definitely got it right. All right, cool. We're going back to the Discord questions, and then we'll hop back to the chat as per usual. All right. What's something you can share about that I've been doing in Navy? So I'm still a midshipman right now, but I've joined the cybersecurity team. It's been pretty cool. We do a lot of cool hacking stuff. Yeah, it's a good group of guys and gals, and we literally spend all of our time just hacking shit, learning how to do more hacking stuff. And yeah, it's awesome. It's an awesome group. That's probably all I'm going to share. But that team is a really good gang. Love them a lot. If a guy called WikiLeaks, I know that reference, asked you to clear up his online presence, what would you give as advice? If you're trying to do like OPSEC stuff, one person I would definitely recommend to reach out to on the Discord server is Soul Sender. I think his username right now is like Solsendarius Prime or something like that. Yeah. Oh, he's not online right now. But yeah, Soul is definitely a good resource to reach out to. Who will give you some good tips on OPSEC, I'm sure. But outside of that, I would say kind of keeping it compartmentalized, your online presence compartmentalized is ideal. So like if you're going to have stuff for school, keep it to school, and then separate all of that from your personal life. And if you're going to use like different usernames across the board, stuff like that, it depends on like how like deep you want to go. Because like for me, I don't really care too much about OPSEC. Like there's a level of OPSEC I'm gonna keep, right? Just for the sake of my safety and privacy and stuff like that. But there's also like things that like my face, for example, I don't really care if my face is online. So, but yeah, it's up to, how much privacy you want. Keep in mind that the more privacy you instill, the less the less easy life will be because of it. Like if you have like your browser clearing your cookies every time you boot it up, then you're gonna have to log into your websites every single time you boot up your browser, and that's like annoying. So like there's like the pros and the cons that you have to weigh, but ultimately it is up to you. What advice would you give to someone getting into what you do? What do you wish you had learned before you started? And what about your job or education journey wasted the most time, and what saves you time and effort now they have more expertise? Wow, very well worded. Thank you. I kind of already explained the advice I would give to someone getting into this, so I'm going to skip that. But something I wish I learned before I started, I don't know if I would say anything. Like I think my path went relatively smooth. I think one thing I would say that I wish I learned before I got started was just that, like, maybe picking up. Yeah, I would say it's like, be careful of like who you like share your work with, and not to be like paranoid, like to work and collaborate with others, but just kind of keep in mind like not everyone is on your team, because I've definitely gotten like hurt in the past with like people like sabotaging my work and stuff like that, stealing my code, just stuff like that. That was just like kind of hard when you're younger. So yeah, I would say like just kind of keep that in mind, tread carefully, but at the same time like be open to collaboration and stuff, but yeah. And then what about my job or education / journey wasted the most time, and what saves you? Bro, literally, I'm gonna give you guys this quote, okay? I'm gonna give you guys this quote. Do not let school get in the way of your education, okay? I heard this quote a while back, and I was like, damn, that is deep. I'm gonna say this again. Do not let school get in the way of your education. I'm not saying let your grades drop. Your grades are important. And I'm not saying school isn't important. School is incredibly important. But at the same time, there's a lot of times where like you're in school and you're just doing something for the sake of doing it, or the sake of learning it, and it is not important or pertinent at all, and you will not gain any life skills because of it, but you have to do it anyway because it is school, and because of that, it will get in the way of you spending the time that you want to like hacking or learning and stuff like that, right? So like spend the time that you have free to you like towards something that will benefit you, right? It's okay to just like play video games and spend some time off and whatever, but I haven't played video games in a while because I have so much fun just making projects and working on like code and malware and videos and all this stuff. So like for me, that's where I get a lot of fun and passion from. So like for you guys, like with school, like if you have a paper due, do the paper, right? And like stuff like that. But don't like feel so grounded by the fact of like school wasting your time. Don't like let that affect you, nor take away from the things that you want to do. Does that make sense? But yeah, I was going on a little rant there, so my fault. But yeah, beautiful question. Can you talk about APTs and details on some professional techniques in cybersecurity? Okay, I'm gonna sip water before I answer that. All right, let me check some of these. Dude, you create awesome content. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, cool. Let's get back to it. All right, yeah, let's check out some of the chat questions again. Also, do you companies actually hire malware developers? Yes, but like, okay, so the reason why things like malware, like Maldev Academy and other resources for teaching people malware, is the point of offensive security, right? And offensive security and offensive development is, or especially offensive development, is creating malware and stuff, you know, offensively. And in the name of security, that would be against to test the client system. But unless if you're so let me say it like this, right? If you joined a pen testing company, more often than not, they will require you to use something like Kali instead of Parrot, because Kali is the industry standard, right? So when it comes to malware and tooling to test people's security, more often than not, you are usually obligated to use the industry standard, things like Metasploit and other, you know, tooling and exploitation suites that are out there. So because of that, you don't usually see malware development in the industry. However, there is a level of testing security to bypass or to test systems like EDR and AV that need to be able to see if I'm losing my train of thought here. Yeah, basically to see that like if something that isn't industry standard can still bypass that security system. So that's like the most common way you see it, is to test like those types of systems. However, if you're trying to do like actual malware development, you're going to have to get into like the private sector or like military. Like those are like your two options, right? To do like actual legitimate like adversarial like malware development. That's like your route. Otherwise, you don't really see the skill set that much, unless you're like joining a ransomware gang or something. How much money do you make with cybersecurity each year? Bro, I don't make. Okay, I'm not like fully employed yet. I'm still a midshipman, so like only make like. I'm not going to disclose how much money I make, but I don't make that much money. Appreciate it again, R&R. Please tell brother how you share your files with your Windows machine and QEMU. Oh, yeah. So you need to use a, what's it called? What is it? Hold on, Spice, yeah, that's what it is. Download. Okay, so all you got to do is on your Windows machine, download this executable, and it will connect your virtual machine with your host machine, so you can drag and drop files. I do cover it in the Malware Lab video, so like in the YouTube. Yeah, if I go on your channel, yeah, and if I go on this video right here, I cover how to do that entirely. But yeah, just use that software. Cool. All right, let's get back to the Discord questions. But yeah, and then APTs, to get back to the questions. I already talked about. Did I answer this question? I don't think I answered this question in this full. But yeah, professional techniques are, I think Malware Academy is going to cover a lot of good stuff in when it comes to professional techniques and malware. So you can check that out. There's nothing like out of the ordinary that I would recommend that hasn't already been discussed on something like Malware Academy or in recent papers and stuff like that. And the APTs, there's not much I can say about them other than, did you guys hear about that lockbit stuff that happened? Oh my gosh, that like if you guys have not been keeping up with the lockbit FBI thing that was going on, that is like one of the funniest things like in cybersecurity news that I've seen in a while. So yeah, I would definitely suggest checking that out if you guys haven't seen any of that. Oh, that was funny. But yeah. All right, what's your opinion about Intel, AMD? What do you think about GPUs, iPhones, Android, Samsung? Basically, what do you like in tech? And if you dislike counterparts, tell us why. I like Intel. I think Intel is pretty dope. AMD is also great for like gaming and stuff, but like generally, you're looking at like Intel syntax for a lot of like CPU stuff. GPUs are pretty cool. I don't I would love to get some to make like a crazy like cracking station. Like if you guys have seen, oh, what's his name? Ibsec, the Hack the Box YouTube creator. He has like the Kraken, he calls it, and it's like a server that he'll do password cracking on. And I want to make one of those so badly. I just want to like throw like a crazy GPU in there, a Ubuntu server, Hashcat and John the Ripper, and then just like be able to throw passwords on there and just have them be like ran through in like seconds or whatever. Oh, that'd be so cool. But yeah, that's my point. iPhones versus Android. If you want a life, get an iPhone. If you want to do hacking, get an Android. And then Samsung versus Google. I would probably say Google. I just think they have a lot more. They're doing a lot more things right. And then what do I like in tech? What do I like in tech? I love Linux. Love Linux. That like even like I used to be a big distro hopper for a while. And then I stayed with Linux Mint, and I love Linux Mint. Linux Mint was my first operating system, and is my current operating system. I've always found myself going back to it. So Linux Mint, definitely awesome, piece of software. I guess I can go to the earlier question about software, but yeah, I love Linux. That's why I'm even poking around at like NixOS and stuff. Like I just like keep up to date with those things. Learning about the whole LLM/AI stuff recently has been pretty interesting. I think I will pick it up eventually, but for now I'm chilling. And then yeah, let's take on Windows, Mac OS, and Linux and stuff like that. Windows is an amazing operating system. The only reason why it's like so vulnerable is because it's so targeted. Like it's the most used operating system, so because of that there's going to be the most malware developed towards it. Like if Linux was the most used operating system, then like people would be like Maldev Academy would be about Linux and not about Windows, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's the only thing. Mac OS is, I don't know, I don't really like Mac too much. I think they're doing a lot of good things, like a lot of great things. I just don't like the actual operating system. Like I think they're competing and revolutionary, like computing is awesome, but I don't know, I don't like the operating system of Mac. It feels weird. It feels like Linuxy without, I don't know, it's a weird middle ground between like Linux and Windows. That's like, I don't even like desktop environments on like default Linux distributions. Like it's just like a weird, it feels like an off-brand Windows, which is like, if I'm going to use Linux, like I want my Linux looking like this, you know what I mean? Like I want to use a Linux that's like, okay, you look at the computer, you're like, okay, that's definitely not Windows. That's me. That's just my take. But yeah. But yeah, definitely a great question. Who's the cutest mod? Why is it Monty? Well, I think you answered your own question. I'm skipping that question. Cyber security is a broad field and encompasses so many subcategories. How would you suggest selecting a subcategory in this field to make your expertise? Ooh, okay. Let me read the full question. My first thought is try it all, but there is so much to try, and I feel like it makes you a jack of all trades, master of none. Or perhaps it is flawed. It is a flawed question, and you should be the jack of all. Else if I've not been in it long enough to try everything. Wow, you guys have some powerful questions. I'll give you my take. So I would say in regards to a lot of like the like when you're first getting into it, and there's like there are so many fields and so many things in cyber. Like first of all, like there's malware development / offensive development, which are different things. Malware development and offensive development are similar but different. Like even in offensive development, like when you look at tools like supervision, for example, right? If you guys go on marks.cosmetics.com / Mark 14. Let's see if I got that right. Okay, that's not right. Development. Yeah, supervision. There you go. Mark 14. So this is what it is. So yeah, this is the Mark 14, right? This is a project that we've been working on. It basically has like, it's an open data map of like cameras and traffic stops and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go on this camera just to show you guys. Right, yeah. So now you can access like this camera in live time, right? So this is like a project that I've been working on. And this is like something like offensive development, right? You're building like, this isn't like malware, but it's used in like an offensive manner, right? Like surveillance and all this other stuff. So yeah, I'll go back. But like case in point is like, there's such a broad gap. Even like, and that's just development stuff, where you have web hacking and bug bounties, and then you have Wi-Fi hacking, and then like cryptography, reverse engineering, BinX, and different types of exploit development. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so much stuff. So like, just so to choose like a field that encompasses so much is difficult. And my honest answer is to honestly just pick something that you're interested in. Like there's nothing, you don't need to be like, you know, jack of all trades, master of none / master of like one specific thing. But like, if you find something interesting, that's all that should matter. It doesn't, like right now, there's this big popularity in malware, but like some months ago, there was a big popularity in Wi-Fi hacking, especially with the release of the Wi-Fi Pineapple and Wi-Fi Coconut back to back. There was like all my Wi-Fi Pineapple videos just shot like up because of that, like that boost. So like right now, malware is a trend, but trends come and go. So like, don't necessarily feel the need to like pick a malware because it's like such a vast community around it. Like if you're interested in Wi-Fi hacking, get some Wi-Fi adapters, get your Wi-Fi Pineapple, like get all that stuff, Wi-Fi Coconut, all that stuff, and like have fun with it and like explore like to your fullest intent, because like it doesn't matter like as long as you're interested in it. Now, if you're trying to like, when you're looking at your career and you want to get proficient in a specific thing, that depends on your career, right? So like if you wanted to get into like, I don't know, I'll just use pen testing because that's like the most popular thing, right? Like if you want to get into pen testing, then yeah, picking up like networking and web hacking are probably like the two more, like you're going to need the web hacking and networking skills more than you will need like malware development skills, especially if you can just like deploy like a meterpreter shell, you know what I mean? Like that's far less important. So like follow your interests more. And don't worry too much about being like a jack of all, master of none. Like right now, I would say my biggest specialty is obviously like malware development and reverse engineering. Like that's like where I spend my most time in. But I still play around with like tons of the other areas of hacking. Like when we do CTFs, the first spot I go to is cryptography, because I just have like a really good knack for cryptography, and I'm able to do those challenges relatively quickly. So like those are the challenges that I usually go for first. And like, I don't do a lot of cryptography stuff on the YouTube channel, but like, that's still an area of hacking that I like a lot, right? So yeah, there's no need to like, don't limit yourself, is what I'm saying. Don't limit yourself. Explore to the fullest of your capability. That, I'll leave it at that, because I'm just gonna talk for hours if I don't. Cool. What is your favorite? Y'all are wilding right now. I want y'all to know that. Oh my god. All right. What is your favorite programming language for running malware? Yeah, I talked about this earlier, right? C, C++, NIM, and then for like target side, and then I use Python for like server side, like attacker side stuff. Like Python never touches the target computer, but I'll use it to make a C2 server, or I'll make it to like automate certain things for like my console and stuff like that. But yeah. I'm ignoring you. Why wouldn't it's been wilding this whole time? Oh my lord. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna just read this question because y'all just start joking around after this. Like I know about C++, so should I try basic projects to master C++, or first I go into writing malware snippets? I'm just gonna say, why not both? You know, like why? Go over here. Yeah, so like, why not both, right? So if you're working with C++, I would say definitely work on projects just to get you familiar with like how the language works. I don't know what your programming experience is, but if you are like just getting into things of like, it's like this is your first time using like conditional statements, if else statements, or using loops, or using you know, any of that other stuff, then yeah, definitely work on smaller projects. But you can obviously or easily move into like the bigger malware projects, especially if they're smaller things like keyloggers, screen capture, play around with the Windows API a little bit. The Windows API is a really simple thing. It's really intimidating, but it's just really simple. And there's a video on the channel. If we go on, I think videos. Yeah, embedding shellcode. This video covers the Windows API very, very well. We go pretty in depth on the Windows API and using it for malware. It's an hour-long video, but like by the time you finish the video, you realize how simple this thing actually is. So don't feel like, don't feel intimidated by the Windows API. Definitely 100%. That would also be like a piece of advice I would give to myself. Someone asked earlier, like, what's some advice I would give to myself when I first got started? Don't be intimidated by the Windows API. I took way too long to get into the Windows API, only to be disappointed with how like straightforward it is. So don't be disappointed. It's literally just copying and pasting documentation, and then as you get better at it. Oh, dude, I should have answered this question as well. Learning the data types for like for the programming languages you're using is super important. I completely neglected that. So like knowing how many like bytes a word is versus a D word, and versus like how many bytes a long is, an unsigned integer, signed integers, like just knowing those things, like those like really weird niche areas of like C programming, goes a long way. Definitely something I would suggest. It only takes like 2 days to like sit down and actually memorize that information, and it goes such a long way, such a far way. But yeah, definitely an area I would also recommend picking up. All right, I'm gonna check the Discord real quick. I see. Yeah, someone pinged me in the Discord, says, "What's your Linux setup? Like, what desktop environment do I use?" So like, again, right, just good old Linux Mint, man. Yeah, I have some videos to cover in depth on the channel, so if you guys want to see that, you guys can check that out. All right, let's check out some of the questions you guys have been throwing in the chat. Okay, advice on getting into SDR hacking: buy one. Just buy one. YouTube tutorials. This is pretty straightforward. I didn't buy it. I found out on Telegram. You just say you just pirated my own course. Are you admitting to piracy on stream right now? You just told me. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully you enjoyed the course then. I'm sorry you couldn't afford the $5. Oh Lord. Good old hippie hobby, your code is not my property, not for real. How many years does it take to get proficient in malware dev and analysis? I'm reading a 300-page C book, jeez, and doing your side projects. After that, I plan on reading Windows Internals and MalDev Academy. I mean, doing that, yeah, I'm sure you're gonna get pretty proficient. Like, I have never read a book like ever in my entire life. No kidding. Like I have like back there I have the VX Enneagram books, but those aren't like really good for like learning. They're just good for like seeing interesting niche research that's in the field currently. I would say like to get proficient, spend like I'd say maybe 2 years, a year getting proficient in programming and a year getting proficient in malware. But like it's based on your time, right? Like if you're spending like if you're doing it every day versus every weekend, it's different. But like at the same time, don't worry about being proficient. Worry about having fun. Like that's the only thing I think about. Like I'm not like pressured or like thinking like, oh, I need to be like, this elite speaking god. Like I'm just having fun, man. Just having fun. And yeah, just do the things that you find interesting, that you find things that you want to poke around at. But yeah, I mean, those are all good resources. Like, I'm not saying the resources you're looking at are bad or anything. Just keep in mind like what you feel like you want to do. By your side projects, I mean. Okay, I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm gonna copy this over. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. I know I could do that. Nice. All right, so I just put the chat over here so I can have the camera with the chat over here. I think that works a little bit better. All right. By your side projects, I mean the ones you recommend beginners do. Yeah, got you. Hey, Blue. Hey, what's up, Funky? How you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. How obfuscation works in dev. All right, so obfuscation, right, is basically just the ability for you to bypass like antivirus and stuff like that, right? Because like, here, let me go over here. So like, if we go on OnlyRat, right? If we go on the payloads, and let's go on like the, I don't know, the 2.ps1. So like obfuscation, right? This is a pretty bad obfuscation that I have going on here, but like, yeah. It's dollars. Yeah. Let me find a better one. From BPS, that's the same thing. Yeah. So like, you see how it's like all obfuscated and stuff? Yeah. So basically it's to make it harder for like the for antivirus and the malware analysis to detect like what you're doing and understand what you're doing. Sister, what's going on, man? How you doing, Sister? Not drag and drop, like the command you use to share your files, like in the OnlyRat video. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure it was just a SCP command. I basically, yeah. So basically, what I did was just here. I basically just did this. SCP, yeah, tech R, the file you want to upload to, because like OnlyRat, right, uses SSH. So port 22 was opened on the virtual machine. So I would just do SCP and then the file I want to upload to the user at the host, and then I went to do it in the home directory. So yeah, and I just made that a bash command or a bash alias or a bash script or something like that. That's all I did. Yeah. All right. How much of C should I learn before I start using Maldev Academy? Up to you, man. I would say like learn all the general proficiencies of it. Like if we go on custom CS, who knows? I might make a C course or something. I think I'm getting here a lot of questions about C. Where's open course? Dang, where is this thing? Bruh, open. There you go. Open course. So this is my Python 3 course, right? But what's important is like knowing things like data types, right? Data types are important. Knowing input strings, output. Oh, there's no strings in C, but I guess this is Python. Operators, right? Just like the general like base programming understanding, right? Boolean values, conditionals, all that stuff. How to do the different loops and stuff. I'd say any other data structures that are in there, like linked lists, might be helpful. But like at the same time, Maldev Academy does a pretty good job of explaining the initial concepts. So like if you're following through, like learn basic C, and then like while you're following through, if you get confused on anything, just pause and then do some research on like the topic. Like for example, like I'm pretty sure Maldev Academy talks about unions, right? So you're in the middle of Maldev Academy, they talk about unions. You have no idea what a union is, so you just pause, and boom, there's Low Level Learning. He's a great YouTuber covering C topics. There's also this Nesto Academy video, right? So like you guys can see there's videos on like all the topics that you might be confused on. So just take a pause, come over here, be like, okay, I understand what a union is now, and then go back to Maldev Academy, right? So just hop back and forth, right? Don't feel like you need to like rush through Maldev Academy course or anything like that. While you're working on it, you get confused, take a second to pause and look at the other stuff. Hello from Cameron. Oh, hey, welcome. Your Maldev videos are great. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm happy they've been helpful for you guys. Is AI gonna down malware dev, or is it gonna affect the field? Or like how's it going? It's definitely not gonna down maldev. Maldev is such an intricate, like, it's almost an art, like malware development. It's almost an art. Like it's very, very intricate and technical, And I'm sure malware or AI can get to that point. AI is definitely making it easier for malware development, and I'm sure as we move into the future, we're going to see different types of malware because of it. I just think that it's such a weirdly technical piece, and yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's going to definitely boost malware development, especially like obfuscation techniques. I'm sure AI can create some crazy like obfuscation techniques that are just so weird and obscure that it just helps a lot with the bypassing process of malware. But it's definitely going to affect the field. It's affecting every field right now, right? But let me tell you the story, right? So when this is something I heard from the author of the paper Menagerie. I don't remember what his name was. Ken Liu, I think. Yeah. Basically, he said that when the camera first came out, like the digital camera to take photos, artists were very mad. Like artists were like especially portrait artists who do like a lot of paintings and stuff. I promise, I have a point. But artists who did like paintings and stuff were very concerned about the future of their careers, because now when you used to pay an artist to paint a portrait of yourself, you can now just take a photo of, right? But when you actually look at the effect the camera has introduced an entire new spectrum of art, photography, cinema, I don't know, digital art, all this other stuff. Like the camera has introduced even like things like video editing and stuff like this. Like camera has created an entire new like scope for the art industry, instead of what we originally thought would be harming the art industry. And similar to him, I have the same belief that AI will have that same effect, right? AI right now seems very intimidating and harmful to our current industry, but I think it's going to open a lot of doors to new areas of every industry, like incorporating AI into art, incorporating AI into security development, and incorporating AI into all this stuff. So like when we first saw the camera and how it was, intimidating to the art industry and created this whole new area and doors for art, I think AI is going to have that same effect. But yeah, that's my opinion. You guys are free to disagree or whatever. But you didn't pirate the course? Oh no, you're all good. I was talking about Malware Dev Academy. I paid $500. Yeah, no, I understand that entirely. Yeah. Doing well. How about me? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing really good. Finally on break. Finally can relax, enjoy some time with you guys, because I have like no time to stream anymore. But yeah, man, I'm doing good. And how to have an undetectable virus? FUD, fully undetectable. What is the step-by-step? Is it possible using interpreter? I would say no for the interpreter, but for everything else, yeah, man, yeah. I would say like if you're looking to create like fully undetectable malware, which is a very like at the end of the day, it always can be detected, But if you're talking just about like bypassing antivirus, I'd say important things are making the malware look as normal and unsuspicious as possible. That's the first thing. I say good obfuscation techniques, and I'm not even talking about like random data. I'm talking about like making it look like the executable is like let's say if you have like a stager, you download it onto your computer. The only thing it does is like reach out to a file on the internet, download it to the computer, execute it, and then self-delete. Like if that's the only thing the executable does, like that's malware. Like there's no way that isn't like at least if it isn't malware, it's like definitely sketchy, right? That's like a very popular thing in malware development. So like being able to make your program like wait a second before it tries to do all this sketchy stuff and like look more innocent will definitely go a long way. Quality obfuscation techniques are also a good thing when you guys look around at like alternative methods of deploying malware, like using like a DLL as opposed to a exe, or using other forms. But yeah, I would say that. Please answer my question. Did I skip it? Oh, I did skip it. I'm sorry. What is the best way to get your victim to download your malware? Could you please tell us where you get started with Android malware dev? Like the best thing to get to learn for that. Java, if you're doing malware development for Android, I'm 90% sure. Java, isn't Kotlin also like a thing or something? Um, Here, I'm gonna enable the chat over here too. Cool. I'm pretty sure Kotlin. Yeah. I'm pretty sure is used. Yeah, Kotlin and Android right there. Yeah. So yeah. So Kotlin and Java, definitely some good languages to pick up for Android malware development. And how do you get your victims to download it? If you're doing Android development, I think a funny way would be a QR code, right? Put the malware in a QR code and have it be downloaded and executed. I think that would be pretty cool for, especially for mobile. And when we live in an industry where, or when we live in a culture where QR codes became super prevalent, especially with COVID. Like you were scanning QR codes all the time. So embedding malware into a QR code would be pretty interesting. Even if it takes you to a website that will download the malware onto the phone, or just directly execute the code, however you want to do it. But I think that would be a really interesting way to get the malware to run, if you ask me. Other than that, texting them, you know, hey, download this file, whatever. Even USB over Ducky has, you know, adapter now for mobile devices. Even things like OMG cable as well. Yeah, OMG cable. Hack5.org. Yeah. Where's the OMG? Yeah, right there. That's the OMG cable. It's basically a rubber ducky in the cable, right? Super cool, super niche. Yeah, OMG collection. Yeah, I actually don't own one of these yet, so I need to get one. But yeah, definitely something worth looking into for mobile hacking. I would also talk to Peaks. He's on our Discord server. He's a pretty good guy at mobile hacking, especially iOS, but I'm sure there might be some things that can transfer over to the area of Android stuff. All right, seems like this is the last question here, and it's asking, what's the benefit of buying Hack the Box Premium? Jesus Christ, $1,200? Is that facts? Hack the Box. First of all, I didn't know Cyber Apocalypse was going on. Damn, my voice cracked like crazy. I didn't know Cyber Apocalypse was going on. I'm very sad about that because I missed Cyber Apocalypse. Is it still going on? I might do it later and just speedrun it. No. Wait. 9th to the 13th of March. Wait, I can still join or no? Yeah, it's going on right now. Anyway, what are you talking about? Is there like a pricing? A premium price? Box Academy. Yeah, I don't know which one you're talking about, dude. But $1,200? Alright, I don't know. But the answer is no. Box Academy, gotcha. No, the answer is no. The answer is no. I mean, like, unless you like entering, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say no, but like, it's not necessary. Like, there are other routes. Like, that's a lot of money, and like, unless you're like entering like a professional industry where you need those like critical skill sets, it may not be as like pertinent to have, you know, those skills and stuff like that. Like, you can learn pretty much anything anywhere now, especially with the internet and how like most things are free. So yeah. Have you ever used your skills to render justice? What was the case? Render justice. That's a question you have to ask me on Discord. And not on YouTube. But yeah, I'm trying to think, is there any other like pertinent things? I'm gonna check the Discord, see if you guys dropped any more. Another question: how useful is native scripting languages like PowerShell for maldev? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so my answer is very important, right? Because like when you look at, so I did actually talk about this in my video about the roadmap to malware development. Yeah, this one right here. So when I talk about like the different languages and stuff you should learn, I do talk about, I don't know where I talk about. Yeah, there you go. So the 3 types of languages to learn, right? There's the low-level compiled languages, high-level compiled languages, and native interpreted languages. And that is definitely a language I would suggest you learn. PowerShell is a great one. PowerShell is great for that stuff. But there are other languages like Visual Basic Script, for example, is another native interpreted one. If you're looking at Linux, you got things like Bash and stuff as well. So I would definitely suggest picking those up. Yes, 100%. PowerShell is very, very useful. PowerShell is also great for stagers and stuff as well. I've seen a lot of the PowerShell stagers that are used for malware and stuff like that. So yeah, great question. But yeah, I think that seems to be about all the questions that you guys had for me. I'll give you guys a few seconds to ask anything else. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. But you guys had some great questions, like a lot of great questions, and I'm very happy that we've been able to go so far with the. Hold on, let me go on the channel. Yeah. This is basically the 15K celebration. If you guys are curious on what we're trying to actually celebrate with this thing, but yeah, thank you so much, by the way, for getting us to 15K. We're almost at 16. I want to see if we can get. My goal is 100K. Like, I don't want any more than that. Like, if I get 100K, that'd be awesome. But I'm not trying to have like 1 million subs. I feel like that's a lot, you know. But yeah, I think we can make it. We're incrementing slowly but steadily, you know. I have to go for Android development for Windows. Oh, or Windows. I mean, I like Windows, but I mean, feel free to poke at Android development. I mean, like what I talked about earlier, like, you know, have fun, explore, do what interests you the most. Love your videos, keep it up. Thank you so much. Yeah, it seems like this is about the gist of everything that we can cover today. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by, asking so many questions. I'll be sure to stream more often this week because I'm a lot more free this week. And but yeah, appreciate you guys. We'll get some malware dev going. We'll get some other stuff going. And yeah, but in the meantime, stay happy, stay positive, and as always, happy hacking.